We are now joined on the phone by SNY's Yankee reporter, Sweeny Murti. Sweeny, this has to be absolutely stunning news in the Yankee world right now.
Yeah, Jonas. I mean, remember the timing of it with the Yankees headed into their one-game wild card playoff, and hopefully for them beyond that. CC Sabathia was a big part of this. He's always been a big part of this team, but down the stretch, he was one of their better pitchers, and as the Yankees looked and hoped to move forward, he was going to be a part of this team. And obviously a personal issue with Sabathia that forced him to leave at this time, and you can tell by that statement that you read how much it hurts him to leave his team at such a time.
Well, was there any signs that any of this was going on, any hints in that clubhouse at all? I mean, obviously we all know there was that one incident late at night where he was caught on someone's cell phone yelling at somebody, but other than that, we've never heard a word about this from anywhere.
Yeah, that was a public incident that happened just a little over a month ago in Toronto. It was back in August, and yeah, a late night incident that Sabathia himself said it was him just in a bad spot, making a bad decision. But now in light of this news, you wonder if there was more to that. If there were other incidents that maybe we didn't see or hear about that led him to make this decision. But as far as signs from inside the clubhouse, I mean, I'm not sure that you ever see that. I think everybody would tell you that it's a shock to see something like this.
How obviously the timing, there's never a good time for an announcement like this, although I guess you could say it's great that he is going to seek and get the help that he needs. But for the Yankees getting ready for tomorrow, this comes as a very big bit of news, whereas all of their focus should have been towards that wild card game. Now, obviously, a lot of them are going to be thinking about their teammate here. How about the timing of this news for them? How big of a distraction is this for the Yankees going forward to tomorrow?
Well, I think it's a part of the questions they're going to have to answer today, obviously, and I would think that, listen, CC Sabathia is a very well-liked teammate. He's one of the leaders in that group. He is an organizer. He is the guy that gets everybody together for different things. And so there are a lot of people in there who feel for CC Sabathia as a friend and teammate first. And if this is what's going to make him make his life better, then I would think that they're all in favor of him going for help regardless of the time of year. And I think that's probably the message you'll hear from his teammates because, again, he's very well liked and very well respected for the work he does on and off the field as a leader on this team. And,
when it comes to just the baseball going ahead here, Sweeny, as you mentioned, I know the Yankees certainly, there's no reason for them to look past tomorrow night. But as you mentioned, he had been a very big part of this rotation since going with the heavier knee brace, had pitched far more effectively. What does this do to their pitching? Let's put aside the actual issue that he's seeking help for now. What is just baseball? What does this do to their pitching going forward if they win tomorrow night?
Well, the way that he had performed lately, I think you saw him as a reasonable option again and maybe a legitimate option again for the rotation. You wouldn't have said that over the first 4 months of the season. The way he came back over the last two, and especially after going to the heavier knee brace, I would think you'd say he would be one of the more effective guys, especially when you consider the opponent, Jonas. The Toronto Blue Jays, that's a lineup that would really punish left-handed pitchers. The Yankees, if they advance, would face the Royals, who do have a lot of lefty bats in their everyday lineup. And Sabathia, even when he struggled this year, was effective against left-handers. That would have been a pretty good matchup for CC and the Yankees to face Kansas City. Now they have to adjust. The Yankees do not have a left-handed starter. And for much of the season, he was not an effective left-handed starter, but once he became one toward the end of the season, I mean, that's an element that the Yankees had been missing. The Yankees historically do not win championships without left-handed starting pitching, strong left-handed starting pitching, and he could have offered that to them, especially in a matchup against the Royals.
Sweeny, as you no doubt know, this is news that would knock most franchises back on their heels, and it is big news in the Yankee world without question. They're care and concern for their teammate, CC Sabathia, but at the same time, this Yankee franchise has done very well dealing with all sorts of outside distractions the past few years. Alex Rodriguez, of course, coming to mind. Are the Yankees, in a strange way, best equipped to handle news like this the day before a wild card game, just because it feels like they've dealt with it all in the past?
I would think so, and I don't know if it's a perfect example or comparison, Jonas, but we're going to talk to Joe Girardi in a little while. And he was with the Yankees in 1998 when Darryl Strawberry learned of a cancer diagnosis right before the playoffs. The day before the playoffs, he learned of a cancer diagnosis that was going to take him away from the team. And the team on television came all together to offer their support for their teammate in his fight against the disease. Girardi was part of that, and I think that's something that he might flash back to as he prepares his team to move forward in their playoff run, as long as it may be, without CC Sabathia.
Sweeny, we appreciate a few moments. Thank you very much. It's our Yankees reporter, Sweeny Murti, on the phone. Thanks, Sweeny.
Thank you, Jonas.